guys, so today this is going to be basic trap bedding 101. Mostly for the new guys have been trapping for a year or two, have already established how they want to bed their traps, and they're happy with it and they have confidence in it, which is the most important thing. So I have another video set up so you can really see exactly what I'm doing here, and I'm going to switch over to that and I'll show you the basic tools you need to bed a trap. Okay, so right now you're going to need a sifter, some type of trap pan cover. Now I did a whole video on all different types of trap pan covers. It's just the one that suits you best is the one you want to use, and some type of digging tool. I use this. A lot of guys use a sod buster, which is a hammer with a wedge welded on the other end of it so they could dig out the sod. So right now we're going to establish our hole. This is the trap we'll be using. I prefer Duke traps. This is a Duke number 2, pretty common trap, but the bedding goes for the same for all traps. So first we're going to dig our hole. Now the big mistake most people make when bedding traps is they dig their hole too big. You want to make it just a little bit smaller than the trap itself. All you want the ears. These are the ears, the levers of the trap, sitting just under the surface. So you can use a hammer if you have that. Right now I have my hole established. To get it down a little bit lower, flush with the ground, you just beat down the parts where the levers are going to sit. Clean out your hole a little bit. Now I skipped the stake driving because there's a million different kinds of ways to stake your trap, and any kind that you prefer would be good enough, as long as it holds the animal. Once you get your levers beat down and the hole underneath the trap, it's just a matter of setting it in there, pushing it down nice and tight all the way around, no wobble, nothing. Doesn't move. You can put a little dirt over your levers. You can pack in the dirt around the trap, around the outside of the trap. And then here is where your pan cover comes in. You cover the whole pan totally like that. You get your sifter. Use the dirt that you dug out of the hole, and you just sift that right over top. You only want about 1/4 inch of dirt over the top of your trap. And that is it. Nice and tight. Trap goes off. You don't have to worry about the dirt holding the trap down. It's always going to go off. I'm going to turn my head and show you another way. There you go. All right. That's the basic way to bed a trap. So now we're going to reset. And we're going to cover bedding a trap in frozen ground. Now you're just going to have to use an axe and goggles, because that stuff is like concrete when it freezes. And I'll show you how I bed a trap in frozen ground. You get a little hole established. You get your levers beat down. Get your trap in place as best you can. And now some guys use nails, some guys use screws. I like to use screws in the frozen ground. And right here on the outside of the jaws where the levers, the jaws ends are, you put that screw right there, and you just let the head of the screw catch the end of the trap. It just catches those two little ends. That's it. It locks it in nice and tight. Again, you put dirt around back there, probably wax dirt in winter, all the way around. Your trap pan cover goes back on, and you sift your dry dirt over top. Now, if you have any questions about the screws holding your trap, when it won't fire, it's going to fire. Screws do not hold the trap down as long as you put them right on the outside, and generally the screws stay right where you put them. especially in frozen ground. Here is the ends of the traps that I'm talking about. You put the screw head so it just catches these. Okay, so screws is one way. Nails are another way. Some guys use nails. You set your trap. Generally, I already have my hole established, so I don't have to do no more digging. But that trap is rock solid just the way it sits. But we're talking about frozen ground now because it's a little more difficult. Some guys use nails, use the nails the same way and in the same place. I put little washers on the heads of my nails just to give it a little more grab on the end of the jaws. You bang them in, one there. And one there. Just like that. You can stand on that trap and it's not going to move. Again, if you're contemplating whether the trap's going to go off or not because of the nails holding it, it's not. Usually the nails keep in place. And that is pretty much it. Just going to show you one more time on how to bed a regular trap in good ground before the freeze starts. Get your hole established, smaller than the trap. You see how it's smaller than the trap? At least a ½ inch around. If you need to square it up, you use your hammer. Set the jaws right down in there. Give it a little twist and a push, and then you start packing it in. Just like that. A little dirt over your levers. Pack, pack, pack. You can never get it too solid. That's it. Pan cover. And then your sifter. I use a broom sometimes just to make it all cover up. And you don't have to sift dirt right directly over the pan. Spread it out a little bit so it doesn't look like he's stepping on a stepping stone. You want it to all blend in no matter what you're using. If you're in grass fields, you want to use grass clippings. I don't really like that because the grass clippings are always brown and the fields are green, but generally they say coyotes, as far as green goes, is in the neutral zone for if they could determine green or not, so it might look all the same. Plenty of people catch them like that. And that is the basics of trap bedding, the most important thing. You can have the best location, the best lure, but if that trap moves under his feet, you're not going to get him. Just like Tom Miranda says, they've been walking barefoot all their lives. All right, guys, so that's going to be it on the basics of trap bedding. One of the most important things you can do in trapping. Doesn't matter what kind of bait you got, location you got. If you can't get that trap bedded nice and tight and he feels it move under his feet, he's going to dig it up. Not because he thinks it's a trap, it's because he thinks something might be living under there and he's going to dig it up. That's going to be it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching.